All right, and just like that, every last plant is out of the nursery, and the nursery is officially closed for the season. These are all my pepper plants. They are so ready to come out of their containers, but we are still having nights that are in the 50s and 40s and highs in the 80s during the day. So they're not quite ready to be in their permanent home. I do have some squash back here. I believe there's some winter squash, and but the majority of them are my various varieties of peppers that I started around Labor Day weekend. I do not grow any hot peppers. They are sweet peppers from seed. And then I have a variety of other plants in here that I started a month ago. Lots of tomatoes. I think there's some spinach in here, lettuce, and some squash plants, along with eggplants. And I like this container because the roots can kind of grow in the bottom, and I just add the water to the bottom. But these are officially being hardened off out here on the deck. They were all started indoors either 2 months ago or a month ago. And these are some remnants of various peppers, tomatoes, watermelons, squash, basil, and they are also being hardened off. The process of hardening them off gradually out of the nursery and then introducing them to the elements. We have had several cloudy days, and so it's kind of worked out that way. The green stalk is full. Well, most of it is full. A lot of these plants are doing well. Lots of lettuce, spinach. I do have some empty pockets, and I'll most likely will be filling them in with the winter plants, or I should say the summer plants. This is purslane. I have dill in here. I enjoy growing dill. It goes great with tomato salad. And again, lots of lettuce. That's cilantro. And I am going to have to get in here and cut quite a bit of the lettuce. Like I said, we are having highs in the 80s until it will start to bolt. And this is my blackberry cane bush plant. Lots of flowers, lots of berries that are ready to come. This is actually my third season growing this variety of thornless blackberry in this 15-gallon container. And this is probably the peak and climax of this plant. I did put a strawberry plant at the base of it, and they do have, like I said, lots of bloom on them. I do need to cover these strawberries because the birds love them just as much as we do. But we're looking forward to enjoying these strawberries. These strawberries, I started them almost maybe about 3 or 4 years ago in these milk crates that I found on the side of the road. And it has worked out well. These empty containers, I will be filling them up with various tomatoes, plants for the summer, and probably some type of sweet potato. And then, of course, the collard greens that I've had since last season. This is the front of our house that I've put various flowers and plants. We have been doing lots of work getting it ready, weeding, trimming bushes. These are my violas, a David Austin rose, various containers that I filled up with some plants that I got from the nursery. This is a dahlia. I'm hoping that will come back. I had it last season. I'm hoping it'll come back again. Viola, snapdragons, lantana, just some various plants. I do need to get in here and weed. I do leave quite a bit of my dandelions for the bees. They love it. And then, of course, I do have some more violas on this side, lantana, and a David Austin rose that is going up this trellis. I did apply some compost, some coffee grinds to some of these roses, and they have done well. This is a knockout rose that I have. It's a red one. It was planted by the previous homeowners, along with this ground cover that does give these beautiful, I guess, purple flowers. And it has spread, aggressively spread. I may have to cut it back. And then in here I have my lavender. I did cut the lavender back quite a bit, and it's coming back nicely. And then of course I have my green stock here. Most of these empty pockets I will fill with various herbs, but right now I just have mostly strawberries growing in here, and maybe just a few like cilantro. And then of course this is a DIY type little creation that I put together with my hanging baskets. This is a variety of blueberries that grow in containers, and of course a strawberry in there. Along with that, these are the daylilies. They do need to be thinned out. They were by the previous homeowner, and I've just let them go wild. And of course, my Japanese maple that is stunning this time of year. It has come out of dormancy. This whole area, once I get my fence up, I know I've been talking a lot about getting the fence up, but this will be the kitchen garden. It is the front of our home. And yeah, so again, back to the daylilies that do need to be thinned out. I did start planting some flowers here that I picked up from the local nursery. I did also start growing some brassicas in these containers. That's broccoli. And so I will probably be netting some of these plants because they are, we already have slugs coming out and eating on them, so they are prone to having aphids and slugs and various pests from the garden. So I'll be netting them. And then of course, like I said, this is a David Austin rose. This is a plant that I'm growing for the first time this year. Some type of lantern maple flowering bell plant that the bees love. And then the marigolds, of course. That's my dahlia that needs to go in the ground. Some snapdragons in here. I also have my columbine plant and the daisies. And then following, and these are beautiful, these snapdragons that have come out of dormancy. And then of course my green stock. This is the third one. Everything is doing nicely in here. Lots of lettuce and spinach and various herbs, Swiss chard, nasturtium, and I do have just a small little patch of flowers, some in containers, some in the ground, and a David Austin rose. Again, lots of just various fun flowers, plants from the local nursery. And this is a cherry tree that I picked up in the bird bath. And then I do have some mustard green in here, some broccoli, collard greens, and then of course, yep, this is the collard greens. It is starting to bolt, so I just broke off the flowering part, which will allow the plant to continue, hopefully to produce more green leaves from me until I'm ready for it to completely, it is from the fall of last year, so it is starting to bolt and go to flower and seed. And then my raspberries, I did eventually put them in containers. I decided to put them in bags. The variety is Heritage, and this is a crimson variety of raspberry that I picked up from Baker Creek. Okay. And then of course the peas are coming up nicely. I started them, I guess it's been about 2 months maybe. And then quite a bit of my fruit trees have all come out of dormancy. This container is full of various plants that have volunteered and come up on their own. I think I did plant 2 onions and a garlic, but the parsley came up on its own. It just overwintered. And then, of course, quite a bit of my fruit trees and berry plants have come out of dormancy. I did want to show you how much the fig trees have grown. Everything brown is from last season, everything green is from this season thus far. And they're in like a 30-gallon container. And this is my lemon tree. It has come back. It was gifted to me. The elderberry has come up nicely out of dormancy. And then my apple trees haven't started to put on any bloom or any green, but the pear trees, that one there, has come out really nicely out of dormancy. And these are various varieties of pears and apple trees, fig trees, from Baker Creek.